Not that it's plainly evident, but this is the elusive fourth video for one day of riding. Haha! How much can one man ramble? Welcome back to Road Reality. Yes, where nothing is as it seems, the points don't matter. Yes, I borrowed that from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Oh, and coffee for the Blue Bike in Doyle. How's your mom and them? Yes, pull out in front of me. I didn't want to go down the road. But it's a car, which is the topic of today's discussion. The new car bug. Speed cameras suck. People that can't do the speed limit, they suck too. They suck worse. Anyway, has this ever happened to you? Have you had a perfectly fine automobile at your disposal, or even a bike? We'll include bikes in this one, and you still kind of look around and go, I wonder if I could get something else, or I wonder if I should get something else. Now, I paid my Ram off a year ago, give or take, so it's 5.5, 6 years old, something like that, and I bought it new, and it's been great, minus, the battery thing and a couple other little things, but it's been a really good vehicle. It's been the best truck I have owned. However, I think I'm getting tired of driving a truck. Now, I used to have convertibles. I've had 2 Mustang convertibles, and I absolutely love being able to put the top down, even if it's snowing, especially if it's snowing. I used to love that. Middle of winter, I would don a furry Russian hat with the flaps. I would latch them beneath my chin, and I would go for a drive with the top down. And it was awesome. Absolutely loved it. Had such a fun time making people's heads spin. Because who in their right mind drives along when it's snowing with the top down? I did. I think I'm on the right road. Yeah, Glen Road. Okay, we're good. Thank goodness for GPS. A feature that I always have to have on my vehicles. I can angle this. Make sure it's tight. Yeah, there we go. So I find myself, and especially when I ride around this area, there's the BMW X1, I think it was. There's a lot of luxury vehicles. I happen to be a man who prefers his comforts. So I have a luxurious truck. It does not have a great payload. It has good towing, which is important for my trailer, but 99% of the time it's just me driving around by myself. So getting 14 miles to the gallon when I do that kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't like paying $100 every time I have to fill up the truck, which is going to happen later today after I fill up the bike apparently. But I digress. I have been looking around and I've been watching some review videos, and I think I want to drive an SUV for a while. And the SUVs I'm looking at are not a Land Rover, because I don't care what you say about who owns them or what their track record is now. I remember working at a mechanic shop and seeing Land Rovers in there all the time with busted mechanics. Granted, they were a little bit old, or mechanicals. Anyway, moving on. I am just not a fan of the reliability. I think they look great. I think they perform, just not flawlessly, but phenomenally. Different F sound, but I can't bring myself to even test drive one. I've ridden in them. They're very nice. Anyway, moving on. I have a certain requirement. Has to be able to tow at least 6,000 pounds, if not 7, which immediately gets rid of most of the non-luxury SUVs outside of like a Suburban or a Tahoe or an Expedition. No, I don't want anything that big. So that leaves me with generally the Germans, because over in Europe, apparently BMW and Mercedes are used for towing by regular people all the time. Towing boats, campers, trailers, etc., etc. I have a 7x14 enclosed V-nose dual axle trailer with a 7,000 pound GVW. So really I should be looking at, no, not trucks, but SUVs that, hold on, passing on the left. Thank you. Have a good day. Wow. Yelling really takes it out of you. We need more coffee. Coffee. Downshift. Okay. I don't know why I upshifted there. But I need a vehicle that can tow my trailer. Not that I tow my trailer anywhere, because I hate towing. I mentioned that before. But because I need to be able to move the trailer at a moment's notice. So I'm not getting rid of a truck and then having to go to U-Haul and yada, 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 all that other whatever. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to rent a truck just to move a trailer. Come on, your side of the road, buddy. And then, you know, I also want to have my comforts. So that again leads me into the luxury category. There it is. That's a GLS. That is a dark blue GLS. Oh, hotness. Hotness, 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 go. Woo. Lug a little bit. Rev a little bit. Anyway, the GLS, that's the one I'm looking at. It's between the X5 and the X7 from BMW and the GLE and GLS from Mercedes. I don't know which one I like more. I think the BMWs look a little sportier, but the Mercedes tends to have, well, more of them in my area tend to have the trailer hitch added to them from the factory, which gives you a 7,700 pound towing capacity, which coincidentally is within 100 pounds of what the BMWs will tow. But less of them are equipped with the trailer hitch, so you kind of either have to add it after the fact and hope for the best, or find one that does have it, which is going to be more expensive. And then it comes down to new versus used, because luxury cars depreciate like a rock, traditionally. Nowadays, I don't even know. I haven't really been keeping up with the car prices that much, so I don't know what the heck they're doing. I do know that priced the way I want, a GLE 450E, which is the model I would get because it's a hybrid, gets better fuel economy, supposedly, stickers at like 90 to 95, priced out the way I want. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I've been looking at used, I really have. And I've been looking at the GLS as well, because they're only like $5 grand more than buying a GLE when they're used. It's like 55 versus 60 grand. Now, I know that's a lot of money, a lot of gosh darn money. But here's the kicker, all right? Here's the kicker. I get to go, hey, there's an X7, I think. Yeah, so the kicker is that I have my truck, and it's worth 35 to 40 grand trade-in, which in Maryland takes off $35,000 worth of taxes. So it brings my taxes down to like 1,500 bucks instead of 4 grand or whatever the hell it is. I don't even know anymore. But it takes a lot of the taxes out, and then you're kind of good to go, right? And that also brings my out the door, if I were to buy a used one, down from like 60 grand to 20, which is a lot more palatable to my fiscal sensibilities. Do I need a new car? No. Do I need a new truck? No. Do I want something? Yes. Have you ever done that? Golly. And it's funny because we're bike guys and gals, right? I was going to say bike guys by themselves, but I want to be more inclusive. Anyway, neither here nor there. We're bike people, and we like motorcycles. And this bike's got 32,000 miles on it now. I just checked the odometer. 32,139. Don't rear end the Suburban. That's like the soccer mom vehicle of the year around here. If you're not into like BMWs and luxury cars, you know? But here I am looking at these dang things, and I'm like, why bother? Oh, bikes, back to bikes. This thing's got 32K on it, runs great, been paid off for years. Good golly, indigestion. I am so sorry that you have to go through that. But at the end of the day, I don't want a new bike. I like this one just fine. And this is more of the luxury item, right? This is the play toy, the plaything. I don't live on my bike. I don't go touring. I carry a bunch of stuff occasionally. Today, I don't have a whole lot. Today, I've got a camera and a hat. I don't even need the tour pack today. Yep, it's still there. But I don't see myself buying a new bike anytime soon, because that to me is 100% frivolous. I will get more use out of a new car or truck than I would out of my bike. Even though for the last 4 years, since you know what happened, I have been putting more miles on my Harley than I have on my truck. So why even bother with it? Who cares what the gas mileage is? Because at the end of the day, I'm filling up once a month. I drive maybe 300 miles on my truck a month. And now my kids aren't even in daycare. Am I going to catch this green? Wow, look at me. Green enough. So I have this thing where it's like, I'm only driving 1 tank of fuel a month. Who cares? It doesn't even matter. That's a rounding error, right? Like, it's just not like the people that drive 1,000 miles a week or 1,000 miles a month. I don't have that. I have 300 miles a month on the truck, and I average about 500 miles a month on my bike. I say average, because in the wintertime I don't get to ride as much as the spring and fall. Summer it's just so hot and humid. I'll sit in the air conditioning all day and be like, yep, I should be out riding, but I don't want to sweat my ass off. So I don't. Them's the brakes. Also, brakes. Look at that. I had to slow down. Timing is everything. So what do? I have no idea. What would you do? If money were really no object and you had the budget for it and you could afford it and all that, would you trade in a 6-year-old truck on like a 3 or 4-year-old SUV that's luxurious, has all the bells and whistles the truck has? That's another thing. I really enjoy using adaptive cruise control. Mercedes calls it distronic. I don't remember what BMW calls it, but I gotta have it. I know it's probably a Nancy-pansy thing, but in this area, it comes in quite handy. So the latest and greatest ADAS, ADAS, assisted driving something, whatever system. I'm not gonna bother with it. It doesn't matter. The driver aids. Those things are so important around here because you get stuck in stop and go traffic, and I've gotten to a point where I have enough arthritis in my ankles that after a half an hour of stop and go traffic, I basically can't walk for like an hour. My ankle gets sore. So I'll turn on the adaptive cruise on my truck and I'll just tootle along, let the truck handle the gas and brakes, and I just worry about steering. There you go. Nice. That was like an M6, I think. Beautiful car. I owned a BMW one time. It was a 92 325i. And it was old as crap when I got it. I got it in like 2012. It was a gift from a family member, and it was the gift that kept sapping my wallet. I ended up trading it in on a Mini Cooper S, and then like 5 months later, I blew out my knee and I couldn't drive stick anymore, which is why I don't buy a stick shift car anymore, because I can't do it. Just literally cannot do it. Screw these red lights. Skip. So I am left with a conundrum, my friend. What to do, what to do? The best option is to just keep driving my truck for another 5 or 10 years. But I'm just not sure what gas prices are going to do after. Good golly, with the red lights, you son of a biscuit. Gotcha. That was fun. Anyway, look, the fiscally proper thing to do is to save my money, keep driving the truck, and then pay cash for something down the road. But I am an impulsive individual, and I like new and shiny. So I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. My wife, of course, is like, keep driving the truck. We just got a minivan. She bought a minivan, by the way. I didn't think it would happen so soon, but she did end up buying one. Here's a picture. It's a nice minivan. Very smooth and comfortable to drive. And all the single guys in the crowd are like, you jackass, minivans aren't great. But they are. Far more fuel efficient than my truck, just as comfortable to drive, not too small, and it holds a lot of stuff. We took it on our beach trip recently as a family. We had 5 people and all our crap in that thing, and it was great to have it. It is not great for another red light. So I'm gonna have to end the video here, but I look forward to reading your comments below. Thank you very much in advance for commenting. So with that, we'll see what happens, but don't forget the 2 mantras. 1, you have a 100% track record of making it through a bad day. Number 2, do something nice for yourself every day. And I looked at the lens the whole time. That was dangerous. Don't try that at home, but it was fun as heck. Bye.